at what point are these pickup trucks too luxurious, right? Proximity key, power steps fold down, unlock, side mirrors fold out. Not only do you have a soft open tailgate, it's powered. And if that's not good enough, it'll even go up on its own. Key features of the 2021 Ford F-150 Platinum Power Boost, just to get y'all intrigued a little bit. Now, again, like I said, at what point are these new trucks too luxurious? Most people will say, oh, you don't need all that stuff. It's a truck. It's supposed to do truck things. But why not have amenities and things that make the job easier, but it comes at a price? This one is tapped out with the options, few options that it has, at almost $80,000 for a half-ton truck. Again, many people will say that's ridiculous, but I'm gonna show you some more about it, why I think it's a really, really nice truck, why I really like the redesign of the interior, particularly one thing that has definitely put Ford up there with the Ram trucks, if not better, in my opinion. And yeah, so let's get into it. So like I mentioned, this is the 2021 Ford F-150 Platinum Edition Power Boost, and the color of this truck, which you can see now in the sun, is called antimatter blue, and the flake in this paint is absolutely ridiculous. It's a beautiful paint color. I love it. This is a Platinum, and the base price on the Platinum is about $74,000 stock, just without an option. The only option that really adds significant cost is the Power Boost engine upgrade. And what that means is basically that this truck is a hybrid. Oh, I know, the dreaded word hybrid. Everybody hates hybrids. It still has the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 EcoBoost engine, but now has a hybrid motor, or let's just say an electric motor, that sits between the engine and the transmission, which now bumps the power up to 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque. That is the second highest torque number available in an engine spec, underneath the 6.7 Power Stroke, which y'all know has over 1,000 pound-feet of torque. It has more power and more torque than the 3-liter Power Stroke that they offer in the F-150. So if that gives you any indication, and it's just about as quick as the Raptor, which that's saying a lot too. On the front end, you've got an upgraded grille, upgraded headlight, hood. Everything's new on the front end of the F-150. I like the design of the hood. It's a lot sleeker, a lot sportier. The headlight design is a lot nicer. You can see the LED running, goes all the way down to the bumper. The frame rate on my camera is allowing it to flicker. It doesn't do that in real life. This grille is beautiful. Front camera underneath the Ford logo. Hankook Dynapro AT2 all-terrain tires. Mirrors cameras underneath the side mirrors. Like I said, power running boards. This is how you integrate the keypad. Not like on the Bronco and the Ranger, that's like that stick-on that goes on the door. This looks a lot sleeker and is how it's always been, I think, for F-150s and Expeditions. I like that. Going inside, this is where it gets really nice, and this is where I think a lot of the money comes in, and I'm thankful that Ford took the time to upgrade the interiors to compete with Ram, because they did a great job. So going inside, you've got leather, suede, faux wood. I would imagine it's not real wood. You got aluminum along the grill cover for the speakers. This is Bang & Olufsen. This is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. These seats, peanut butter insides on the seats. Bang & Olufsen speakers in the headrest for the passenger and driver. These are massaging seat bottom and seat back. And then I'll show you guys in a minute, these seats are the ones that lay all the way flat, which is pretty neat for when you are really, really tired and you got to take a nap in your truck. You've got all these buttons over here on the side. You've got lights for both side mirrors. You got your power tailgate button, all your headlight stuff. The jellyfish launcher, I'm just kidding, that's the bed light, electronic parking brake, and your power adjustable pedals. You step inside and it tells you a few times that you're in a platinum, one of which being right here on the bottom part of the steering wheel. The steering wheel is a new design as well. You've got this new shifter design, which I showed you guys in the reel earlier this week, which is powered. So when you're in park, sadly it does not work in drive, but when you're in park, you push this button down and it folds the gear shift down. And what that does is it allows you to then open up the center console to a table to allow you to do work, write stuff down on, use your laptop, eat food, whatever your wildest dreams can think of. This is what the table is designed for. So that's a really neat feature. And then obviously, of course, underneath is that and a lot of storage. You've got a wireless charging pad. You got a Type A and Type C charger. Obviously, cup holders. You got this massive new screen. Massive new screen. So let's start it up. And since this is a hybrid, when you first fire it up, it is only running on battery. It's only going to run on battery. The engine doesn't kick on unless you give it some fuel or give it, fuel. Give it, hit the accelerator and give it some gas, and it'll kick the gas motor on like this. Now the gas motor's on. So you got a fully digital gauge cluster right here, with obviously your tach and your speedometer over there, and then you got all your information in the middle that you can change, which is really neat because look at this. So you have your drive mode selector with your four-wheel drive buttons as well, and when you change it, it gives you these really cool animations for each designation. So we're in normal mode right now, which is just a picture of F-150, and then you go to towing mode, has a trailer behind it, and you go to eco, which turns the truck green. And you have sport mode, which puts it, looks like it's on a racetrack. And then if you keep going over, you got normal mode again. Then you go to slippery, which is showing some rain. You go to deep snow and sand. And then lastly, you got mud and ruts. And again, it adjusts for each one of these drive modes. It adjusts your four-wheel drive and your diff lock accordingly. So in mud and ruts, it 4 high with the rear diff lock on. So we're going to go back to normal, and it'll disengage all of that. So you go over here to this massive new screen. It is so clear. I showed you guys this screen pretty much in the new Bronco. It's doggone near the same screen. It just looks a little better in the F-150 because of the bezels and everything. You've got your button up here for the inverter or the charging ports in the bed of the truck, which is one of the biggest key features of this truck. I'll tell you about in a minute. You have your camera button right here to show all your cameras, and you have parking assistance, which I have not tried yet, but I'm sure it's pretty cool. Other than that, you got a 120 volt outlet right here, regular 12 volt here. You got a storage cubby right there with a regular glove box. So as I mentioned, this does have an option to recline the driver and passenger seats all the way flat. One may ask, what's the use of this? Well, a lot of people work out of their trucks, get done with a job, they're super tired, they don't have time, they can't drive home because they're too tired or whatever the case is. They don't want to spend money at a hotel because they just spent $80,000 on a truck. So why not sleep in the truck? So Ford offered this option to lay the seat completely flat so you can take a nap. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is really comfortable. I could see myself taking a nap like this. I won't lie to you. All it needs now is just like an extension for your calves, to put your calves up a little bit. It's just super comfortable. So in my opinion, one of the biggest upsides to Ford trucks is how they make use of the space inside of the cab. They, for some reason, can make the inside of their truck seem so much bigger than Ram and Chevy, and I don't know why, but you step inside and you sit in the back seat. Look at all this leg room. Like, that's ridiculous. And then the headroom, I mean, I got a hat on, but the headroom is pretty good. You know what I mean? So you got heated seats for both back seat occupants. You've got a 12 volt outlet. You also have a 120 volt outlet, and then you have a Type C and a Type A charger, fast charger in the back. You got a full panoramic sunroof, power sliding back glass, all the typical stuff in the back seat. The interior of this truck is now, I think, probably the standard now for what like a high-end truck interior should look like. So I'm interested to see what Ram does going forward, because Ford, you guys killed it. All right, so a couple more things to talk about with this F-150. It is rated to tow 12,700 pounds. It can haul up to 2,000 pounds, all while getting, they claim, about 24 miles per gallon in the 4x4 model. Now, I've been driving this truck for about a week on the highway mixed with city, and they claim that the city and highway mileage does not vary. The best I've seen is about 20.2. Most of that's been highway miles, so take that for what it's worth. Inside the bed, you have what I was talking about earlier, the Power Pro onboard right here, which is two 120 volt outlets. There is an added option where you can get a bigger power outlet over here. This one does not have that. It just has the two 120 volt outlets, which is a 2.4 kilowatts total. What it does is it'll run off the gas. It'll run off battery for a while until the battery is depleted for the hybrid, and then it'll kick on the engine to power whatever's plugged in. And what's cool is right here is your workspace. So if you can see, you've got a built-in ruler for when you're measuring stuff, and then you have these little spring-loaded doors right here so that you can put clamps on either side if you're working on stuff, sawing stuff, cutting stuff, whatever. So that's pretty neat. And then last thing I want to talk about is just a couple of things that I think that could be improved on. Because this is the first year of the Power Boost, there's obviously going to be things that are going to get fixed to make it more seamless and more smooth to drive. When you go from, hybrid mode to gas mode, it's not the smoothest transition. I think obviously over time that'll get better, but that's one thing that I noticed. It's not the smoothest transition. Sport mode is probably the most fun mode to be in. Obviously, it's makes all the power that this thing makes, that 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet of torque, really come to life. They say this thing can do 0 to 60 in just under 6 seconds for something that weighs almost 6,000 pounds, which is almost on par with what they said the Raptor is. So that's pretty doggone impressive. So after I'm done talking, I'll show you actually a 0 to about 85 run. And it's pretty quick. The torque is really there. You can feel it. It really pushes you back in the seat. But yeah, I really like this truck. Ford really did a good job on the interior, which is the biggest upgrade, obviously, along with the new drivetrain option, the Power Boost. And I think it's a solid contender for a half-ton truck. The biggest thing that I think that Ford was lacking was the interior. And now that they've got that, I think they've put them back up on top. Everybody has a really expensive trim option, so $80,000 isn't anything new. Whether you spend that or not, somebody will buy it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and check out this 0 to 60 run real quick. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.